Welcome to Tech in the Car. Today I'm going to talk to you about the top new cars of 2025. We're going to do EVs, not EVs, and exotic cars, although most of the cars that are exotic are not EVs, but there are also some which are both. So let's get started with the new Tesla Model Y. Now you can see my full video on the Tesla Model Y. I've got two videos on it actually, but we've got an all new design. It looks like a cross between the Cybertruck and the Cybercab. It's got a cool light bar across the front. It's got a very cool light bar at the back. The interior is different. It's got slightly more range. It's got slightly more power. It's got slightly more speed. It's just all around a better car. But what's really interesting is the cost. In China, it starts at $35,000 or about £30,000 in the UK. Now, it's never going to cost that much here in the UK or in the US if you're watching there, but hopefully it means that it's going to be the most efficient and most cost-effective Tesla so far, i.e. it will cost less than all the other Teslas. We'll see though. Let's talk about Rivian. We've got the R2 and we've got the R3. Sounds like Star Wars characters, doesn't it? So the Rivian R2 is going to be coming to Europe and to the UK. Really excited about that. We've missed out on that. And the R3 is a smaller hatchback sized, well, hatchback styled SUV. So it's going to be more like the Ioniq 5, probably a similar size, but it will look like a hatchback just like the Ioniq 5. It's still got the off-road capability, it's still got the great software, the great functionality, but starting at $45,000. And then we've got the R2, which is a smaller version of the R1S. It's just a bit more compact in every direction, but it looks pretty much identical. It might actually be hard to tell them apart if you've never seen them side by side before, but it means that you get a really good adventure vehicle, off-road vehicle, SUV with all the latest tech, high quality interiors, and Rivian's really, I think, very boutique but upmarket design and feel, which I really like. So that's coming to Europe. So is the R3. They're both going to be out soon, starting at $45,000. If that is the case, that will be amazing. And there'll also be a performance version of the R3 as well, living up to the hot hatch segment, which is very much the case in Europe, just like the Ioniq 5N, the Rivian R3X, which will have a tri-motor setup and will be very fast. So that's cool. We're looking forward to that at Tech in the Car. Let's talk Jaguar, or however you want to pronounce it. Now, this is very contentious because their new car, or their concept car, was revealed recently, and many people weren't sure what to make of it. It looks very pink and also blue, depending on which model you look at. And it looks very much like a Rolls-Royce Spectre. Jaguar are going all EV, which means there's going to be no more combustion engines. And Jaguar up until now have made some really great combustion engine cars. So that's a shame to see that. It looks like Jaguar are heading up market. They're going to try and compete with maybe Rolls-Royce, maybe with Bentley, with the premium high-end, large, exotic saloons, which really, when I say exotic, by the way, I mean exotic is in terms of price, not necessarily in terms of performance. Although, having said that, I wouldn't be surprised it's an EV. It's probably going to be very fast too. Big question is, will it be pink? We'll see when that's unveiled this year. Let's talk now about BMW. BMW have shown off what they call their new class. I'm saying that in English because I'm not German, but I'm sure I butchered it. And this is a new version, basically, new design language for their cars, which their 3 Series successor will be and their X successor will have. And they look really cool. They look like a callback to the 1990s BMWs, just sort of modernized, like they've been drawn with a computer instead of by hand. Not that you can't do straight lines by hand, but anyway, hopefully my analogy makes sense. And they both have very clever, interesting designs, which are going to definitely make them stand out on the road. Inside, there's a lot of tech going on. BMW has shown off their new interface at CES, and they call it the Panoramic iDrive. BMW's tech has always been cutting edge, and this looks very interesting, although I'm not a fan of the narrow bar atop the dashboard. We'll see how big it really is on the real cars, but it does look to be very interesting, and it'll be exciting to see the operating system X, which makes me think of Apple, by the way, when it's out on their new class models later this year. And by the way, if you're listening to this in the German translation dub, I'll probably be saying that correctly. Okay, on to the next one on my list. This is the Ioniq 9 from Hyundai. This is their newest SUV. It's the brother of the EV9 from Kia, and it's got 620 kilometers of WLTP range, which is a lot. And the performance version does 0 to 60 very quickly and has the most powerful output of any Hyundai other than the Ioniq 5N, with 260 kilowatt motors in the car. Not only that, it is a 7-seater, so you can fit 3 rows of people in here. It's got a fantastic design and it has all the latest technology that you would expect from Hyundai in this car. This is the GV60 Magma Edition. Now, we saw this back in July at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, but this is a super aggressive performance version, the N of Genesis, if you like, version of the GV60. I love how this looks, and I really hope this comes to the market because I think it'll be very exciting. It's got super aggressive wheels. I love the paint job. However, the paint is not the point of it. The point is, look at the aero, look at the wing at the back. It looks fantastic. Welcome back from Los Angeles. Now let's talk about the not EVs and also the exotic cars which are coming in 2025, which I'm most excited about. So let's start with a Corvette. Now, this piece of a car is a 2025 Corvette ZR1 because I'm British, coupe. And coupe, because again, it's not a coupe, it's a coupe. 1064 horsepower from the twin turbocharged 5.5 litre V8. And it can do a quarter mile in under 10 seconds with a top speed of over 215 miles an hour. So it's definitely got the looks. We've got carbon fiber wheels and a massive wing at the back. So this is the engine which is in that car behind me, the 1064 horsepower twin turbocharged 5.5 litre V8 Lamborghini, and we're going to come on to Ferrari in a minute, but Lamborghini have their exciting Temario, which nobody can pronounce correctly. I'm not even sure I did. I think I did. The Temario has a V8 which revs to 10,000 RPM. There are no other V8s which rev to 10,000 RPM, and it has over 920 horsepower and over 730 Newton meters of torque. It is a monster with over 800 horsepower just from that high revving V8. It can do 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. I can't wait to see the Temario, and that will mean the entire range of Lamborghini, the Revuelto, the Urus, and the Temario, all hybrid Lamborghinis. Really, really interesting. It makes them better, not worse. The technology adds to it, and can't wait to see that this year as well. The last car on my list is a Ferrari. Now, a Ferrari EV. What kind of car are we going to get from Ferrari? Is it going to be a powerful EV super hypercar like the Rimac Nevera, or is it going to be something else? Well, I think it's going to be more like the Porsche Taycan Turismo. I think it's going to be a long saloon, slightly higher up, with a lot of performance. In fact, we've seen the car testing around Maranello in a Maserati body, and we know it's an electric Ferrari because it came out of the Ferrari gates and it's got fake exhaust stuck on the back. I don't know why they bother with that. It's obvious they're fake exhaust. I mean, like, you might as well not cover them up, or at least put better exhaust on the back. All of that Ferrari engineering, it looks like somebody stuck it on with tape. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I think we're going to have a car which is going to be a super saloon, bit higher off the ground, with a ton of performance, and it's going to cost a lot of money. I don't think Ferrari are going to directly compete with their own Puro Sangue. I think it's going to be something different. So it's not going to be an SUV or FUV as Ferrari call it. I think it's going to be something slightly more saloon-like, but raised up. Something which Ferrari haven't done for a long time. So it'd be very, very interesting to see that. So that is the top cars that I'm excited to see in 2025 on the roads, and keep subscribed to Tech in the Car for the latest new cars and the latest technology.